big news on the horizon for Disney Plus. The streaming service is coming out in November, and they've announced a whole new slate of upcoming Star Wars and Disney animated, and maybe most importantly for our purposes, Marvel TV shows.
Whoa.
And for me anyway, the most exciting has got to be the She-Hulk series they just announced. That's what we're talking about today. We're going to talk about, well, a little bit of the history of She-Hulk, where she came from, what the character's all about, and then our hopes and expectations. I got to ask you, any hopes and expectations you got?
Well, I already have an idea of who I would like to star in it. So it'd be really cool for me if Laura Prepon, I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce it, if she would be the She-Hulk. A lot of us know her from that 70s show. A lot of, I guess, the Zoomers or the younger generation would know her from Orange is the New Black.
Mm-hmm.
I think that she is tall, gorgeous, and would look great as a green woman.
And also, I think she's got a good personality for combative characters. Like, you know, the character of She-Hulk, Jennifer Walters, is an attorney. So she has to be able to handle her own, not just physically in a fight like a superhero, but also mentally, like in a courtroom drama kind of situation. I think Laura Prepon is a great choice for that. And also, like you said, we talked about our metrics, like our criteria for what would be good casting for the character. And I think tall is important because She-Hulk is, well, you know, compared to her cousin Bruce Banner, she's not like literally a hulking monster, but she still should tower over, you know, normal people in the room, non-gamma irradiated people.
Right. So I'm hoping that she's in it, and I hope that it is a powerful female character for girls to look up to.
Mm-hmm. You know, one of the other interesting things about the character of She-Hulk going back to the 80s is starting in her second volume, written and drawn by John Byrne. He did issues 1 through 8 and then 31 through 50 of that volume. He started with issue 1 there. He brought this new character trait to She-Hulk, which for some people has kind of become her defining character trait, and that is that she is able to break the fourth wall.
Ooh.
Which means what? What is that?
It means that, much like how we are, we're talking to you, whereas a lot of movies, the dialogue is with each other and you don't ever look at the camera. But then, you know, some series have started using that as like a comic relief to kind of cool down the situation.
Right. So I don't know if other Marvel or DC characters had ever done this before, like where they had like addressed the reader directly, but She-Hulk did that pretty regularly. And, you know, again, tying it back to the TV show, there, like you mentioned, there's been TV shows that have done this. So I think if they were going to get a showrunner who could work really well with Disney Plus She-Hulk, I would have to say get David E. Kelley. Boston Legal, William Shatner, and the guy from The Blacklist, James Spader, who were Boston attorneys, and they would repeatedly act meta. They would break the fourth wall. And also, it's a courtroom dramedy. But in Boston Legal and the other David E. Kelley dramedies, I think that'd be a good match. And also, he worked on a Wonder Woman pilot about a decade ago that never got picked up. And I think it was just a mismatch of properties. Like, rather than give him Wonder Woman, they should have given him She-Hulk at the time. Oh. And even the actress he had, Adrienne Palicki, who has since gone on to be a recurring character. I think she played Mockingbird on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I think she would be another good choice. Maybe not as good as Laura Prepon for She-Hulk, but she's up there. Who else did we consider actress-wise?
I don't remember. There was a long list of people I didn't know.
Okay, the big problem I had was that a lot of the people that I really think would play a great She-Hulk are either movie actresses that probably aren't going to be in a TV show, or they are, you know, in their 40s or almost in their 50s now.
Which I don't see anything wrong with if Mark Ruffalo could be the Hulk.
Oh,
you know.
Well, that's fair. That actually, okay, so slight tangent on that. Mark Ruffalo as the Hulk, there's so much like technical work that goes into making the Hulk because it's a big CGI character.
Right.
And I wonder, it's not impossible, but I wonder, are they going to go through all that effort for a She-Hulk TV show of like make her a CGI character, or just paint someone green.
Well, I also don't see why they wouldn't do like they did in the original Hulk series, where they had two different actors, one that played Bruce Banner and the other that played the Hulk.
That's a good question, but there is an in-universe answer for that, and that is that She-Hulk tends to, unless there's like a particular story reason for it, she tends to always be She-Hulk. So Jennifer Walters, going back to the first series from the early 80s, Stan Lee wrote the first issue of The Savage She-Hulk, where Bruce Banner gives his cousin Jennifer Walters an emergency blood transfusion. It's gamma irradiated, so she becomes the Savage She-Hulk. And for that first series, she had the same sort of setup where if she got angry, she would become the She-Hulk. But then in the Avengers run that she was in later on, and then her second volume.
Let me guess, she's always angry.
Oh no, good guess, but no, she's just she's always the She-Hulk. She's like, this is, I guess the advantage she has over the Hulk. She is more in control of her emotional state. So she is never so upset that she loses control. She likes being She-Hulk. So she's not, in her words, I think, like wimpy, tiny Jen Walters. She's strong, sensational She-Hulk. So so they probably, for that reason, are not going to have two different actresses. They'll probably just have one actress that plays the character the whole time.
Okay. Well, that makes sense. Why do you want to see She-Hulk made?
Okay, well, the big appeal for me is going back to the meta aspects of the character, which has also been, since then, Deadpool's taken on this trait quite a bit of talking directly to the camera and making these sort of side jokes about what's going on in his adventures, and I think that's really good for She-Hulk. But as important as that is, I'm not going to be dishonest. I also like the attractive lady quality of She-Hulk. And that goes back again to, I think the first She-Hulk comic I picked up when I was 9 or 10 years old was one of the later John Byrne issues, like 43, I think. And on the cover, it's her revealing her bra. She's like dressed in sort of a lingerie thing. And she's like, look guys, I know this is kind of ridiculous, but I gotta do something to sell the comic. And I looked at it like at 9 years old, I'm like, I want this. I'm not entirely sure why I want this.
Because it told you want this.
Yeah, I guess so. It's that direct appeal to the consumer. But there was an extra layer there. And then I remember the very next issue. It was funny to me because it's her on the cover of 44, all dressed up in like heavy winter gear with a scarf and a hat. And it's clearly summertime out. Like everyone behind her is like frying an egg on a sidewalk and just like, whew, it's hot. But she's like, guys, the powers that be told me I've been pushing it too far in the last couple covers, so this is what you get. And I was like, okay, funny and sexy.
So
this one's got everything.
I'd like to bring this back to the art that you have right up here.
Okay.
It looks like you're inserting her between a couple of things that are also in the works right now being made.
Right.
So out of these three, which are you most excited about?
Oh,
Spawn,
okay.
She-Hulk, or the new Watchmen series?
The new Watchmen series starring David Bowie. Oh wait, no, not a chance.
I wish.
So let's talk a bit about the art. What I was doing here is I had worked on these pieces for previous videos for the channel, if you want to take a look in the archives. And I was like, well, I want to draw She-Hulk, but I was like, I'll work it into this piece. And this is based on an illustration by Marc Silvestri for a trading card done in Marvel Series 3 back in the day. But to answer your question, of the three I'm most excited for, right now it's Spawn. Because Spawn has Todd McFarlane's imprimatur. Like, he's the creator, he's in charge. I know that they're not going to make it unless he gets what he wants. She-Hulk, to me, still depends on the actress, and I doubt John Byrne's going to be involved. I doubt the other writer I've enjoyed in the title, Dan Slott's going to be involved. Maybe the most recent author who we've met, attorney and She-Hulk author Charles Soule, might be involved.
Oh, is his name getting thrown around?
It's not, but he still works for Marvel, and his is the most recent interpretation of the character, so it's entirely possible, I would guess, that they'll draw from some of his run and maybe give him a special thanks credit at the very least. But Watchmen, Alan Moore is, so that's like, she's right in the middle. And then Watchmen is, Alan Moore says, no, I divorced myself from any association with this, and I don't like DC and I don't like Time Warner and I don't want them to do anything with these characters. So that's kind of the scale here of this illustration.
Okay.
On the one end, Spawn, Todd McFarlane, involved creator, cares.
Yeah.
In the middle, She-Hulk, who knows? And on the end, Watchmen, Alan Moore does not care for what they've done.
Doesn't want anything to do with it.
So that's kind of my interest level. It's like Spawn, I'm most interested in. She-Hulk, I'm right in the middle interested in. And Watchmen, I'm with Alan Moore on this one. So
who is your favorite writer for She-Hulk?
I think I really enjoyed John Byrne, that run as a kid. But then in 2004, Dan Slott did the third volume of She-Hulk, which I adore. It's like my favorite interpretation of the character. My favorite stories because it's him with art by Juan Bobillo, and I think they were a great team. They only did a few issues together, unfortunately, but it was really great. And that was an interesting twist because she didn't go full fourth wall breaking, full meta. What she would do is, this has been canon in the Marvel Universe for decades, but in Marvel Comics, the actual Marvel characters have Marvel Comics written and drawn about them. But they're treated like sort of documentary titles of this is what really happened to these characters this month. So in that title of She-Hulk, they would use the Marvel Comics in the universe as like legally binding documents and like evidence in court cases, which was, I thought, kind of an interesting, silly, heavy continuity, respectful twist. And I like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, what else do we need to know about She-Hulk coming into this? If we're not already fans like you are, what do we need to know about this?
I think the most important thing to know is that they can go anywhere with this show, and we have no idea what to expect at this point. So, at this point, we know Disney Plus is going to cost $7 a month. It's got a lot of stuff that's going to appeal to a wide range of people in the audience. But this might be enough to sell it to me.
Oh.
It just depends. At this point, it's too early to say. So we may have to do another She-Hulk video in the future.
Okay.
But until that moment, let us know what you're looking forward to or what you want, what you expect out of a She-Hulk TV show on Disney+.
And if you like this video, be sure to like it and let us know why you like it in the comments below.
And please, if you're enjoying the video, share with all your friends, subscribe, smash that like button. And if you're an artist yourself, keep on drawing. You can't get better unless you keep drawing. So until next time, everyone, keep drawing.
Keep drawing.